Hello everyone. Sorry it took me a couple of seconds there. This is Lena with Especially Made for Me. I was kind of checking since we've been having some issues with YouTube receiving the data. I wanted to kind of check around on all of the little screens and little flags that I usually get just to make sure. So I apologize for that. How are you? Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that all has been well for you today and that everything's going as planned. And if not, I hope that you're continuing to smile. Today we're going to be working on a football wreath. And I thought, I'm not really a football person, but I heard about, I guess there's a, what is it, the Super Bowl. It's happening, I think, on the 13th. And I thought, it would be nice. I've been seeing these football wreaths where, they say house divided because the husband and wife like different teams and all of that. And I thought, maybe I could do something like that. Just, even though it may not have a sign or anything like that, but just thought I could look up what the teams were and see if I had materials to be able to come up with something. And so that's what we're doing today. We're going to be doing a house divided wreath. And we're going to be, I think it's called the Rams and the Bengals. So we're going to be using their color theme for making our football wreath today. And I have a couple of these footballs. They're so cute that I thought maybe we can try to attach them on there as an embellishment since we don't have a sign to add today. So we are going to have black, orange, and white for one of the teams, and then we're going to have the blue, yellow, and white for the other team. So what I also thought we could do is do different methods for each side. That way it's not only the colors making it look different, also the theme that we're using. For example, using the poof method as our base on one side and using the ruffle method on the other side. So that way it'll be different, and then we can of course add on with our streamers, ribbons, and the other mesh that we'll be using in the different colors to kind of add a little bit more of the oomph. So without further ado, as I usually do, of course, I will change the view of the camera. But before I do that, just want to ask to show some love. That means just giving us thumbs up, subscribing to our channel if you haven't already done so, and clicking on that bell just so that you'll be notified when we go live or do an upload or do a premiere and things like that. So if you see me looking around, I'm getting another flag again today. I don't know what's going on with our internet, but it is saying to check resolution this time. At least it's not saying that they're not receiving the data. It looks like all of that is going well. So if you're not able to see me okay because of the resolution as it's telling me to check on, please let me know by way of comment. So that way I know if I need to do anything. Otherwise, I will continue to just keep recording, even if by chance we get disconnected again, like we did before. I'll just keep recording and then I'll do an upload. So I apologize if that happens. Hopefully it won't, and we can continue to work on this project together. So I am going to, let me put my keyboard away. I am going to change the view of the camera so you can see the the top view of the work table where we're going to be cutting some more mesh. I do have most of it cut, and most of our ribbon, well, all of our ribbon is pretty much cut. So I just have one more mesh to cut, and then I can show you what we have cut and how I cut it, and we can talk about all of that as we go along. So any questions, please let me know via comment. So we're going to change our view here. Hello. You should still be able to see me to the bottom corner of your screen while still seeing the top view of my work table. So you can kind of see some of the mesh cut up in the front, and the footballs I mentioned, some of the ribbons and so on. Some of the other ribbon is being hidden underneath the mesh, but I only have but so much room. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this other one. So while I open this up, I want to let you know how I have the others cut. All of our ribbon for our streamers are cut at 12 inches. And we have the side that we're going to be doing the poof as our base. I'm going to do curls. So the curls, well, I'm going to do curls on both sides, I think, but just a little bit differently. So our curls, the mesh for the two other colors that we're going to be doing curls width are cut at 10 inches. And then for the ruffles, I actually have them cut at 27 inches instead of doing 25 or 30. Just because I wanted a little bit more coverage. And then on our, and I did that in the white. That's going to be our base. And then for our curls on that side, they're also at 10 inches, but I'm going to be doing the blue-white mesh that I have here and the yellow. Now, all of this mesh that I'm using, I also have it for sale on our shop. They are listed as a sale item on our Etsy shop. So if you haven't visited there, if you want to click on that link for the Etsy shop and go check things out, I do have some supplies there, some mesh. And I normally do use it for our projects on Fridays, so I can show you how it looks. And this is also one of them, this blue and white. Just thought we'll do something different since we've been doing, you know, Valentine's and different things. And here soon we're gonna have our, what is it, Mardi Gras and then St. Patrick's Day. So I thought just to have a break from all of that, we'll do this one football thing since we have the Super Bowl coming up, and then we'll go ahead and go back to doing our usual. So next week I'm thinking we'll do, since Mardi Gras is next, we'll probably do something a Mardi Gras theme. Still haven't decided if I want to do a swag door hanger type or do a centerpiece. I'm undecided. So if you want to help me decide, let me know again by way of comment. And if you're not here live with me and you happen to be watching the replay, I do check the comments periodically. So don't worry about that if you're watching the replay and it's still time for you to help with that decision. Please do, because we're here on Fridays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you do get this before the next weekend, you can help with that decision. So just let me know what you would prefer to see, and we'll see what we can do to oblige. Just gonna cut the edge here so that we'll have a straighter line, straighter edge. And again, for the curls, I'm going to be using this one for curls as well. I'm cutting them at 10 inches. Okay, so we're going to have the black as our base on the one side, and we're going to have the white as our base on the other. One wonderful thing about having these boards, it makes it so much easier for cutting everything, and you can cut more at a time. Without having to keep rolling. There's 4. So to know how many pieces you'll need when you're doing curls or ruffles, the main thing to do is to count your stems on the wreath form that you're going to be using, if it's already got the stems. Hopefully if you're doing a house divided theme, it's an even number. Like in this case with the one that I'm using, and I'll show you in a little bit, it has 10 on the outer rim, and then we have 8 on the inner rim. So then that makes it easier for this project, because then we can do 5 and 5 on the outer rim, and then 4 and 4 on the inner rim. So just something to make sure you look at. Count the stems, that way you know what to cut if you're going to be doing a theme that requires cutting pieces of mesh. So let's see, we have 5, so we'll need 4 more. So we'll just need one more cut and we'll be ready for putting our project together. Just have mesh all over. I'm not gonna go all the way to the edge. I could just do 10 inches here from the 10. Alrighty. So I am going to move these blue ones. Oops, there were one of the ribbons. And if we're gonna do a bow, I'm gonna need that ribbon, so I might need to get it. We'll see, we might not need a bow. So, you know, football may not go with a bow. I don't know, I guess it could. Let's see, I'm gonna have to change the way this is so you can see a little bit better on that top screen as we put things together. That's what I'm trying to figure out here to make sure you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, it looks like there's some spam coming through. We keep trying to work on our internet when we've changed internet service providers, and we're still having problems with the data going onto YouTube, and every once in a while we get these spammy things coming through. Don't know what else to do about that. But again, in case you're just joining, we are working on a football wreath, and we're doing a house divided theme, and the theme colors that we're using are for the current football teams that are going to be at the Super Bowl on the 13th, right before Valentine's. Oops. Okay, so if we make a bow, which I'm still not too sure about, and I'll go and get that ribbon that fell. Just trying to make some room here so you can see the wreath, because I want to bring this wreath form down so you can see what we're going to be working with. Okay. So of course we want to make sure we cut any tags we may have. And open up our stems. And I kind of started doing that earlier so I could have it ready, and you know, those squirrels. Things just happen and our direction gets, you know, goes in a different direction. So again, make sure you count your stems if you're doing a method that will require to cut your mesh. You still would also need it if you're going to be using ribbons as streamers. So anything that you're going to have to cut so that it'll go onto each stem, you would have to do some counting. Okay, so first thing I want to do is, so that we can make some room on the table, first of all, is to do 1/2 with this white one, this white mesh, just so I can get it out of the way. There's no actual specific rule as to which side to start on. That's definitely your preference. So I just want to get it out of the way here. So I'm gonna, since we know I've already counted, we have 10 on the outer rim and 8 on the inner. So we know we're gonna need 5 for the outer and 4 for the inner rim. Now I mentioned earlier I'm going to be doing different methods for each side to make it stand out even the more, not just with the colors. So for this one we are going to be doing the ruffle, and for the ruffle All we do is just align our hands so that we can get our thumb on the middle, right in the middle of our mesh. And we're gonna just scrunch it and bring it on in. So then we'll just walk our fingers and just keep bringing it in. It kind of reminds me when I was little, we would make these fans out of paper. So you could do that way if you want to just keep turning it, you know, on either direction. Does the same thing. But there's our ruffle. And then once we have our ruffle, since we already know where our middle is, we're going to go ahead and put that onto our stem. And our stem will be right in that middle. And we're going to make sure it's nice and tight. And all we do is just take one stem to one side and the other one to the other side so they can cross by each other. And we're going to pull nice and tight in the opposite directions and give it a twist. And for our ruffle, we just kind of bring it around, bring our edges around. Have them overlap. That'll give you that nice rounded look. And there is our ruffle. Kind of looks like a little flower, and then you may be able to see that better with the different, once the different colors are added in. So that's 1. We need to do 5 and then 4 in the middle. Hello, Miss Hyla. How are we doing today? We're going to go right next to it and go on to our next stem. You will have to lift that other one out of the way. And another reason why that would help is because you want them to help each other stand up. That'll give you more coverage versus them trying to push down on each other, basically. You want them to be good neighbors, as I like to say. So again, we're going to get our edges to overlap. Just bring them around, and that'll give you that nice rounded look. Make sure that they're helping each other up. They're not forcing each other down. Okay. 3 more to go for our outer edge. Doing good. Can't complain. I guess I could, but I don't wanna. So the, what is it, the Rams and the Bengals are the theme colors that I'm using for this football theme. And I'm only doing that because they're playing in the Super Bowl. I'm not really into the Super Bowl thing. I don't follow all of that. I just heard somebody mentioning it at work, and I thought, let me check that out. I haven't done a football wreath in quite a while. And then I thought, hey, we can use that as our theme for our wreath on Friday. And here we are. I'm going to use the smaller piece. There we go. So they're nice and rounded. Okay, so we are at 3. We need 2 more. And I'm trying to make sure all of these doesn't go down on the floor so I won't have to get up and go around the table. They keep wanting to run from me. Yes, definitely. All these cold spurts of weather are just not fun. I'm in Florida, and it's going to be in the 30s tonight. That's just, you know, it's like, this is Florida. What's going on? But I've been hearing a lot about all the different things going on in different areas with the cold weather and snow in some places, and it's just crazy. Oh, thank you. Glad you like the idea. I thought, you know what? I don't have a sign for it or anything like that since I don't do the team thing, but I have a couple of footballs. Dollar Tree to the rescue. Okay, so again, we're going to be doing the ruffles on this side, and we're going to be doing different method on the other side so we can make it stand out, not just with the colors. Let's see, I lost my count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like one more. So we can be even, 5 and 5. Last one on the outer for this side, and then we'll work on our inner just so that we can make us some room on this table. Everything wants to fall. So with this weather, this morning before I went to work, I thought, you know, we're going to need something warm for dinner. And I know dinner is usually warm, but I mean, you know, those comfort foods we normally think of for when it's cold weather, you know, chili and soup and, you know, mac and cheese. And I thought, oh, I'm going to make us some chili. And then I thought, no, we haven't gone grocery shopping. We don't have the ground meat. So, second option. So we made... And here's another word, I guess, in Spanish, because it's going to be a Spanish word. I made a sancocho, and instead of being in front of the pot boiling stuff and all of that, I put it in my pressure cooker. I have a digital pressure cooker. And I put all the ingredients in there and left it. So it was kind of nice to come home and didn't have to do much of anything for dinner. So that works. And of course it was warm and nice and hot and yummy. I kind of want some more, to be honest, but sancocho is a traditional Dominican soup. So there's no way to translate that name, but that soup is very hearty. It's got usually for the traditional way, it's 3 different kinds of meats, and you can choose what kind of meats. You know, you could do the beef and pork and chicken or whatnot. I did some chicken, and I did let's see, chivo. I guess that would be goat meat. I had to think, oh, see, that's a Spanish word, chivo. Goat. Sheep. And then oxtails was the other meat, which may sound kind of odd, but it works. Yes, comfort food. Isn't it wonderful to have some comfort food during this cold weather? Get the bones warmed up. So now that I started on the inner, just like we make sure that the side to side ones were good neighbors, we got to do the same thing with our inner and our outer to make sure that they're not pinning each other down, but they're helping each other up instead. So other than the meat, that soup, the sancocho, also has corn on the cob, and we cut it down so that way it's smaller pieces, you know, about maybe 2 inches instead of having the big long corn on the cob or that one cut in half. If you have the small ones, we normally cut that one in half. So yes, it's very yummy. I have to post a picture of that. I did it once on a Facebook. I posted a picture of what it looks like, but it's got the corn on the cob and carrots and potatoes and plantains cut into pieces, and of course all the wonderful yummy Spanish seasonings. And by the time it's all done and all those flavors infused together, it's like And the idea is to use meats that you would have bones, because, and this might be another tip for some of you, Some of you may already know that. If you use the bones when you do soups, like a bony type of meat, still has some meat, of course, because we gotta have some meat. It gives you that natural collagen, because it comes out, you know, when you do the broth, and you're basically drinking, as you're drinking the broth, you're drinking that natural collagen from the bones, instead of doing the chemical process stuff they have out there in powder form or pills and all of that other junk that's out there. So just another tip on that. So that's why we normally use the chivo and the oxtails. And when we do the chicken, we do like chicken wings or chicken legs. Sam's ribbons. You see some Sam's ribbons? I know I have some Sam's ribbons. Sam's and BJ's and pretty much anywhere where I can get them. If I see them on a good pricing where it's about the same as the vendors that I use. I know, I think these I got online. The yellow and the polka dot ones. Are those the ones you're talking about? Oh, yes, ma'am. The bones. Yes. I save the bones for everything. Even when we do like hams for the holidays, or, you know, for like the collard greens and stuff like that, you can save the bones. When you do any kind of meat that has bones in it, save them and then use them in your soups. And there's some natural collagen. Yellow polka dot. Yes, the yellow polka dot one. I actually got that through one of my vendors. They do wholesale ribbons. I use the yellow polka dot a lot. Especially when I'm making the sunflower wreath. It's one of the ones I like to use on that. Alright, making sure we're not pinning any of our other ruffles down. And when we do that, you can already see how full it's getting. And we just need one more and we'll be done with the inner. Did I drop it somewhere? I must have dropped it. Let's see. 1, 2, unless I'm miscounting, 3. No, it must have dropped. I'm not going down there to get it. I'm gonna cut another piece. Oh, I haven't gone back to Sam's in a while. I need to go check and see if they have any of those, anything out there that I like. I take advantage of their holiday ribbons. Let's see, I did. Got it on the 3, so 30. So yeah, I got some during the holidays, but I haven't been by over there in a while, so I need to check it out and see what kind of ribbons they have for the new season. I have so many ribbons. I need to really put them in a rack or something. I have ribbons in a shoe rack behind a door here for the arts and crafts room. I have them in 2 other shelves, and I still have some in boxes that I haven't found a place for. But lo and behold, when I was looking for ribbons for this project, I had no orange ribbons and no royal blue ribbons. So like, oh really? No navy blue. Had the one navy blue that I already have it for a different project, so I couldn't use that one because it's for a special order that I received. So it's like, shucks, I need to get some more of those ribbons. I had like an orange and white, but it was like a very thin stripe, and I just didn't like how that would look if we try to use it for this one. So anywho, adopt and overcome. We use what we have. All right, last one for this 1/2, and the base will be done on this side. And just wrapping it around, and then making sure the other sides that are connected to it are not being pushed down. Okay, so there's our first half. Ooh, 4th of July too, so we can get some patriotic things. I'm gonna definitely have to check them out. Let's see. Okay, so for this one side, we gotta use our royal blue, white, and our golden yellow for one of the teams. So my thought is to use curls to go on top of our white. And then we also have some ribbons, which I have the yellow. So let me do that real quick. And for the curls, we're just gonna go in the same direction that it wants to go. And curl it. You could either hold it on your hand in between your fingers and then get the other, or you can use the Vodabra or a clip to hold it together. Entirely up to you. And I actually have not done my blue. I didn't cut my blue ribbon. The little blue ribbon I do have. So I fold it in half just to get to our middle. So I kind of like having the ribbon on first. So I'm just going to put it together this way. So once they're all together. And I'm going to do that little blue one. I'm going to show you here in a sec. I'm going to just put this on here so it won't go away on me. It's a very thin ribbon. It's got the blue and the white on the edges. So I'm going to do that one at the end. Just because I'm just trying to clear out the area so we can work on our other side with the poof. And I'm going to use, everything is right on top. I'm going to go ahead and use this as an aid. You could use the roll from previous mesh that you've used, and it helps with the curling of your mesh if you'd like to do that. Makes it a little bit bigger. Or you can go just as we were to make it a little bit tighter and smaller, and then just let it expand on its own once you put it on there. Just two different ways of getting that done. I like making them as tight as possible. And at this point, since they're all going to be the same, we're not alternating ribbons for this one, since we're already going to have enough things that are going to be different. Kind of judging it by eyesight now. here, on top of it being cold, it's been raining. So freezing cold and wet. As if one or the other is not more than enough. Trying to make sure these don't drop on me. Don't mind me. Don't forget, if you're just joining us, do thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Click on that bell. And if you're not one of our subscribers to our email list, there is a link for that as well. We're not spammy. We don't send a whole bunch of stuff. We do let you know of any specials, you know, sales that are going on our shop on Etsy, which we have the link for, excuse me, as well at the bottom of the video, the description. You can check that out. We also let you know about changes when we're, for the YouTube, if we're going to be doing something different, or like we did a drawing at one point. So the only way to find out about those will be the website. Oh, you had the rain too. Oh, yuck. So sorry. It's just awful when you have both. And I know at times we do need some rain. We need the water. It's just having the freezing weather and the rain. And then of course my little garden doesn't like it either. And I go out there and find stuff all droopy. Guys not behaving, not being good neighbors. There we go. Glad you like it. Should have seen me trying to do the research on it, because again, I'm not really into the whole football, so I'm not up on the on the what team is what color, and you know, what their theme colors are and all of that stuff. I had no idea. So I'm like looking, and then I started reading. I was like, okay, one of the teams changed their colors, and it's no longer some specific gold. Now it's a sunny gold, sun gold, something like that. So basically a yellow. So it's like, okay. But I can't remember for the life of me which one of the teams is. That's how much I don't keep up with football stuff. I just know one was the royal blue, yellow, and the white, and the other one is the orange, black, and white. I know the names of the teams, but don't ask me which one's which right now, because I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I don't keep up with it. But I know it's the Rams and the Bengals. And they'll be playing at the, you know, the football, or the Super Bowl, rather, this year. I'm getting anxious to see what the how it's going to look with the other colors on the other side. One more, one more. I'm good. I'm glad you know. I had to look it up. I was like, what? When I told my husband, I was like, it's not supposed to be yellow. It's supposed to be gold. It's like, but it says they changed the color. It's not the regular gold. It's some other special gold that's like a sunshine yellow. Oh, okay. See, we don't watch the football and stuff here, so I had no idea. But I guess he looks stuff up and he knows. I don't either. I don't know. Okay, scrunching in the middle. And here we go. We might not need that other blue ribbon. I think we'll be okay. There is one side. Let's see if I can put it to where you can see it a little bit better. I like it. See, we don't have to be into the whole football thing to. All right, so going on to the next one, so we can use these. Turn this over so we can have the other side ready. So for this other side, we are going to do the poof method. So we have ruffles and curls. We're going to do poof method for our base on this side. And for the other team, they do black, orange, and white. So I'm using, since it's only half a wreath, I'm using a remnant piece here. I'm going to just kind of cut the edge here just so that it'll be a little bit more even. But not absolutely necessary. Just gathering the mesh so we can start our poof. And I am going to, this piece that I gathered together, I have a little zip tie here. Instead of starting it here on the stem, I'm going to start before, like right on the, underneath this other ruffle. So that way when we do our poof, it won't be, it'll be a bigger poof. So I'm going to do it right under and still use our stem. And just get this secured here. Oh, I hear that rain. Are you able to hear the rain on through the recording, through the streaming? That is just crazy. It's like storming. Okay, so now that we have that a little bit more secure, we can do our poof. And I'm just going to see, what did I do? It's about 6 inches, 5-6 inches for our poof. And same thing here, we want to make sure we pull in the opposite direction and give it a twist. Ah, good. I thought, you know what? If we can have variety. And it makes it a little bit more fun, especially with this being a, you know, house divided, so to speak, type of wreath. That way it won't be this, it won't be different just because of the colors. That was my thought process, I guess. And with this being the base of it, since we have more mesh to put on here, your poof doesn't have to be so big. And let's see, I should have brought that out in case we don't have enough mesh on this remnant, but we'll see, we'll make it work. And then what I'm doing is just opening up, oops, I just noticed I used a inner stem for that. Hold on, we'll make it work. Just open these up just so that it'll give us more coverage, that's all that is. But we can make them smaller because we have more mesh. This is just for the base. And then just open up the poof. So by the time we're done, let's see, we have, I think it's 3 different methods. We have the poof method, ruffle method, and the curl method. All in this one wreath. And I think all but the blue and white has been remnants. Since you're doing just half a wreath basically for each one of your set colors, you don't need a full roll of mesh for either of these. You might, if you're doing the same thing, you might need you do need a full mesh for the white because you're still doing the both sides, using white on both sides. But other than that, you can get away with using less. Did I open that one? Looks kind of small. There we go. Okay, so once we have our outer done, we're going to move into our inner. Same amount of inches. And then make sure your ruffle is not being pinned down. And I gotta try to do this over the ruffle, so I'm gonna turn it just so it'll be a little bit easier for me. There we go. Okay, and then again, lift that ruffle so it doesn't get pinned down, and open up your poof. I turned it when I did that, so I'm gonna try to, there we go. Open, open, open. Okay, so then that'll lift your ruffle on that side so it doesn't get pinned down and you have your coverage. And since I turned it, let's see here. There we go. Try to put it back the way it goes. Okay, gather, do the poof. And open it up. I think we're on our last one. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing just for the coverage. I'm going to just cut it with the scissors. And I'm going a few inches out, and I'll show you why. Okay, so to make sure we do the same thing as we did here with tying our end. Oh, excuse me. We're going to do the same thing on this end, and that way we can have some coverage right underneath that ruffle as well, just to tie it all in together. So we're going to lift our ruffle. I'm going to actually put my stem here first, my little, oh, that's not going to work. I need to hold this down. And we're going to tuck that under. Once we have it nice and secure. Oops. The ruffle is being mean. Here we go. So again, I'm just using a little zip tie to tie off that end right under the ruffle, just to provide some extra coverage, since that's at an end and it doesn't have another ruffle next to it. That's the only reason I'm doing that. Okay, and there's our base for our other side. So black, orange, and white is our next set of colors, and we're doing the same thing. Now for this one, I was undecided on which ribbon, and I think now that I'm looking at it, I'm gonna go with the orange and the one that's got the most orange on there. I don't know, because I think if I remember correctly from looking at the images I saw when I was researching, since I don't know about football stuff, it's like, I have to undecided. So these are gonna be curls, just like we did before. We're gonna move the ribbons out that way. And I'm gonna do the orange, I think, on top, since we have the orange ribbon, just like we did with the other. You could use more than one ribbon. I just thought with there being so much mesh already, we might not need all the extra ribbon. Like normally when we do our regular wreath, we have, you know, at least 2 different kinds of ribbons, if not 3. Ah, good, good, good. I'm glad. I like the confirmation. Thank you, thank you. Interesting how these colors are playing together, so to speak, because of the white. At least that's what I'm thinking. since they both have white in common. Not too much more to go. I'm still undecided if I want to put the little footballs in. Let me put that in view. Got these little, they're kind of squishy footballs at the dollar store because I didn't have, you know, just kind of put, so okay, football stuff. I'm going to put it here, and I just saved it and like, okay, thank you, Dollar Tree. And I thought, okay, one football on each side to kind of make it, give it that definition that it's a football type wreath, even with the house divided theme. I'm gonna have to make a sign. Just looks like the footballs might be, I don't know, might be just my thinking. I need a little bit more than that, but I think it's looking pretty good. I could always add a sign later. Yes, on the footballs? Okay. So in that case, let me get my, oops, get that to start heating up. Okie dokie. How many more to go? Maybe three or four. Quick and easy. I think what would take the longest is the cutting of the different mesh. So I'm glad I did that ahead of time instead of watching you, having you watch me cut cut mesh for a while. So if you ever want to try that sancocho recipe, that Spanish, traditional Spanish hearty soup, I'll give you the spelling, and I'll put it also on the comments here in a little bit, so it could be on there. But it's S-A-N-C-O-C-H-O. And if you put traditional Dominican, because it's, you know, my background is Dominican Republic, sancocho, you will get the traditional from Dominican Republic, because there's different variations out there. I know there's a Puerto Rican sancocho and all of that, but if you want to try the one I was mentioning, it's the Dominican one. Yes. And sometimes I feel, even if I feel like I've, you know, I kind of done the planning, I still feel like I've, you know, a little bit kind of like, okay, I missed something, or it definitely needs some organization and some prep time. Okay, that one came loose for some reason. And then with my internet and computer issues, makes it even more crazy. I keep seeing little flags pop up, so hopefully we won't get disconnected. I don't know why it keeps doing that. So far so good though, so I'm not going to complain. I'm going to stop that. And I want that to come up some more. There we go. And then we should have one more. Yep. And we could attach some footballs. I think this other orange and black ribbon wants me to use it. Uh-oh, is this a different? Looks like a different inch. We'll go with it. Make sure that little ruffle doesn't get pinned down. Alrighty, let me bring this over. Let's see. So you can see both. Haha! There we go. Now we just gotta decide where to put our footballs. Put them kind of catty cornered. Catty cornered. See, my Spanglish kicked in. Move this over. Let me see if I can get myself out of the way here so that you can see a little bit better. Haha. Sorry about that. I know that may be kind of quirky to be looking at the movement. But I wanted to make sure you could see the wreath. Okay. Time for a football. Let's see, there's one. Let's get the other. Now, if you have one of those long threading needles, you can also use that to attach your embellishments. Like for this one, since it's kind of foamy, you can run a little bit with those threading needles, run a little bit of the wire and then attach that to your wreath. So I am thinking, do I want it there, do I want it higher up? Kind of do different opposite directions. Let's see, do we have enough glue? Where did I put that glue at? Glue stick, glue stick. It's kind of fun. It is. I like it. And I like having the different methods on here. Makes it look fuller too. So okay, so I think I'm gonna go with catty corner since we're house divided. We'll see. Do we have, oh, yes. So I want to go right on this stem here. Or do we want it? I don't know. Kind of want it to be coming out of the, I'll attach it coming out of the middle there. Just a little bit of glue. Okay, that should stay put. Let's go ahead and do this other. Now, let's see, I want to make sure we have it on focus. Focus, focus. Where do we want it? Nope, can't see it there. I think I'm going to keep it where I had it. Maybe going in the different direction. Just to be different. Okay, so there's the stem. So I'm using the stem as well because I know it'll get stuck to that a little bit better. And just holding it down for a little bit. I know there's a little bit of delay when we're streaming, so I'm trying to make sure I watch for comments. I can tell the difference from the YouTube screen to my screen. Show me the current timing. Okay. So there is that. Got some glue on my finger. Okay, I think I'm going to, let's see, I know you can see it on that small one at the corner, the small view, but I'm going to switch the camera view just so that I can hold it up better. I think you can see it from the top camera though. So I'm going to stay put. Okay, it's telling me no data again, even though we're streaming. So if we do get disconnected, I'll just do an upload, so we'll have the video on there twice. Okay. So any questions, comments at all, let me know via comment. And don't forget, if you're just joining us, we were just doing a house divided football wreath. If you like what you saw, or if you learned anything new, or if it gave you some ideas on something to do with your materials that you have at home on what projects to make, do thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. You can also click on that bell and it'll notify you when we go live or do an upload or premiere. Also, if you would like to know ahead of time what we're working on or what we'll be working on our YouTube channel, or if we're not going to be on YouTube, or know about our sales and different events and vendor shows that we may go to, you can click on that link for subscribing to our email list, and that will allow you to get the notifications we send out, because we don't send emails on a regular basis. We just like to keep you informed, so that will be the one way to know ahead of time. Thanks, Hyla. So we have the Rams and the Bengals. My accent kicked in. So, house divided football wreath. Hope you liked it. If any questions at all, again, share some comments with me. I'll check them periodically. Even if you're not here live, I do check them after, in case of any replays, and anybody may have questions. So please let me know. And until next time, we'll be here again on Friday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we hope you will join us then. Until then, keep creating, stay safe, and stay liquid.